Alright guys, today we are back at the house and we're going to try our best to draw up the design for the house so you guys can see what's in here. I just want to say ahead of time that this isn't probably going to be 100% to scale, and this is just kind of an idea. I'm no designer. We will draw it out as we go, and maybe at some point we will get some serious plans going. Right now we're just working on getting the slab done, and then we will work on the blocks and go from there. So alright, let's go over the plans here. Alright, so the house is 20 by 40. That'll be this area here, and the plan is to put 2 grain silos here in the front and do a concrete porch all the way around here. Work with me a little bit because I haven't used this program in probably like 5 years, and I don't really know the buttons that well, so it took a little getting used to, honestly, to even draw this out. But I tried to do concrete slab there, so all of this area will be concrete slab. I will put the grain silos here in the front, and then these will be kicker walls of cinder blocks. The whole entire house will be cinder blocks, and you can see here I'm putting some dimensions: 20 on these walls and 40 on these walls, 14 for the grain silos. And here is the cabin that's currently on my property, just kind of giving you guys an idea. Boy, you wish your shop was that big. My shop is 24 by 30, so that's about in scale where it's at. This cabin is about 25 by 25, so I'm kind of drawing out the plans here for the road. This is my driveway as you come up to my cabin right now. So I would like for this to be able to come here, and I'm going to try to put a little pad back behind the house. That way I will be able to store materials back here and not have them all up here in my way. So that's the plan for this. It's been raining for like the last 2 weeks and we haven't been able to get any work done in this area, but yeah, this is the plan. Put all this back here, build a little area that's flat to store materials, and whenever they're delivered they can just bring them right around here. Boom, won't be in my way. There's only going to be 2 bedrooms in the house. You see one here. I'm kind of designing the kitchen area. The kitchen could be in this area here, and then we could do 1 bedroom this way, 1 bedroom this way. There's going to be a front door here, and then, or we could put the bedrooms this way and do the kitchen down the back wall. This is what Lindsay's kind of wanting right here, is for the kitchen to be directly when you walk in the front door. So if that's the case, we'll put the bedrooms here. Okay, so I didn't remember how to make these into triangles, so we just put hexagons as the doors here. But work with me here. I told you I'm not exactly the best with these devices. So I've got 2 different options here. So we see this is the door leading out to the silos here. Those will pretty much be that way unchanged. But we could do a door here where you walk out of the bedroom and walk out of the silo. But then you could have interference with the doors and stuff, so we could move them over here to the sides. Like I said, none of this really matters. It's going to be quite a while until we get to the interior portion of the build. But if we do decide where we want the rooms, maybe we can build some buttress style walls here to help the back wall from pushing forward. We could do something like that if we knew where we wanted the bedrooms to be. So we'll see about that once we start building on the blocks. The plan for the silos is to put the bathroom in one silo and the washroom, like laundry room, etc., in the other one. And that way the whole interior of the house is just living area. So 2 bedrooms, a kitchen, and then all of this will be just living area. I want to take a minute to tell you about today's video sponsor, EBL. EBL is a rechargeable battery company, and they have sent us a couple products to try out. They have sent us 2 different chargers and 3 different size batteries. They have a bunch of different batteries available on their website. This is an 18650, and also they sent us some AA and AAA batteries. Seems like all the time I'm buying batteries at the store, and every time I buy them they're $7-8. And when we're done with them we just throw them away, and it seems really wasteful. Another thing I hate about buying batteries at the store is you always have an old package of half ripped up cardboard with 2 batteries left in it. You can't remember if they're good or bad. These batteries come in a nice little case, and you just take them out, charge them up, put them back in there, and you know they're ready to go. The charger that they sent me is really nice. You can put AA batteries in it as well as AAAs, so you don't need two chargers to charge the different battery styles. It also has a slot to do C and D batteries as well. And like I said, 9 volts over here. I also wanted to mention that they have a sale going on their website at eblofficial.com until January 17th. I will leave a link in the description below, so go check these guys out and let's get back to designing the house. Now we're going to start from a front view. I am terrible with this program again, but I am basically trying to replicate what the blocks will be. This will all be cinder blocks. And I have talked to Mel and Gary, and they have convinced me to use the 12-inch blocks, so we'll be using the big blocks for the whole entire build. And now this is my favorite part of the whole build. I'm gonna do this however I have to do it, so I know it's gonna be difficult, but I want to put logs from front to back all the way across the roof. This has a big part of wanting to only make the house 20 by 40 is because I need giant logs to span the whole area of the roof, and I will give you guys a better example of what this looks like in just a couple minutes. So now we're putting the logs on top of the roof. I haven't decided any sizes or anything. I'm going to talk to some of my friends that are more experienced in this and try to find out what kind of size logs we need to span the distance that we're spanning. And then on top we will be doing a tongue and groove layer, which will be this layer here right on top of the logs. And then we will do a foam insulation, probably 4 inches of foam or something like that, and then we will do a metal roof on top of that. So that's the plan there. I would love to do a skylight, but you know how those things are. We'll see if we think it's possible. In the future we might do some skylights because I have a feeling this house is going to be rather dark all the time. Now we're doing some dimensions here, 40 by maybe 12 foot high on the front wall. That's the plan. We are going to try to do a Hobbit style round front door. I feel really intimidated by that because I am no kind of carpenter, but I talked to someone that is really experienced in wood, and they said, well, don't make one door, make 20 doors. And by the time you've made it over and over and over in a smaller scale, you'll eventually realize exactly what you need to do to build it, and then it's possible. So we'll see. I really would like the idea of having a round door, so we'll work on that. So front view here is the silos. We're going to do them rather tall. I want them to be taller than the roof. That way no watershed goes underneath down the front wall, so the watershed from the top will run onto the roof. That's the plan. So the reason we're doing 14-foot silos is because this front wall is 40 feet, 14, 14. We want to have a little area between here and not just feel like it's a hallway to the front door. That's kind of the plan there. So okay, so here we go. You kind of see the idea where the water will shed off of this onto the roof. I know it's going to be very difficult to cut the roof around to match the round silo part. But it's possible. It's just going to take a little extra work. I did put a front door on this one as well, and I don't think this one's going to have an outside door. So this silo will either have a door opening inwards towards the porch or outwards towards the street, and then a door inside. And this silo, which will just be the laundry room, this one being the bathroom, this one will just have a door from the inside of the house into the laundry room. Like I said before, guys, all this is subject to change. This is just the plan that's in the mind right now. So you can see the logs there in the roof. Okay, now we're going to tear all this out, and we're going to try to mimic a side view of this exact thing. And for some reason here, I was working on making this the ground, but then I started turning it into blocks. So this will actually be 180 flipped in just a minute, but you'll see how the silo is going to stick up over the top of the roof once I flip this here. This side won't actually have a front door. This is the one I just mentioned won't have the front door, so this one will just have an entrance into the house. Here is the ground. Now you can see I flipped the house. Now I don't think it's going to be this much taller than the roof in scale, but I might have exaggerated that a little bit. I don't know if I fix it or not, but it'll just be a little bit over the roof, enough that the watershed goes onto the roof to then go backwards. So here I'm trying to illustrate the kicker wall that will come off. This kicker wall basically holds back the dirt from going around onto the front porch or just deteriorating this wall. So at the corners of the house, since all of this will be buried, this will be dirt all the way up to the back of this wall on both sides. So this is just illustrating that kicker wall, and I don't know exactly how much of this ground is going to be covered, but this is just an idea of what it will look like. Okay, so now we're going to put the roof on. You can see the metal roof. It's actually going to go past these silos and be cut out around them. Anyways, that's the idea, to curl them around there, and then in the center it will stick out a little bit over the front door, so we'll have an overhang over the front door. And now remember that these have to be logs spanned like 20 feet already just to cover the house, so we're looking at 24-foot logs or so to overhang both sides of the house. So this is why we're really having to keep the interior of the house rather small. Okay, let's see where we go from here. Okay, back to the front view of the house. So now what I'm doing is illustrating the front porch that's going to come off the front over the door. So basically one roof is going to overhang, and then we'll do another roof like this that comes out at least to the edge of the silos, so that the water that runs off the side of the silos won't just be running on the front porch all the time. So you can see this roof will attach here on the blocks just under where the logs stick out. So the roof right here at the top will come out a little further, and then everything else will overrun and drop off the front porch. Obviously in the back of the house we will have to use very strong gutters, nice big wide gutters, to retain all of the water coming off the house, so that it's not just dumping back there towards the back wall. And we'll probably do a gutter system up here as well, just to keep the water from dumping off the front porch. Alright, let's see what we got next. Now we're kind of designing the inside of these silos. Again, this is just a rough idea, but we'll do like a bathtub, a full-size bathtub, and then a counter with a mirror, etc. Here's a toilet, and then in this one we will do the laundry room. So here's the washer and dryer, here's my little bitty tiny closet, and here's Lindsay's ginormous closet. I'm sure that's about how it's going to work out. But so yeah, I'm just illustrating now the sink area and bathroom. There's the toilet. Now all of our gray water and stuff can come out this way. It will have to cross this driveway, but we'll do a septic system out here in this area, which is away from my regular cabin. Now, like I said before, the roof is something that I'm absolutely in love with, and however I have to make this roof work, I will do it. So I'm going to give you guys kind of an idea of what this style of roof looks like. And how I found about these roofs is the Earthships out in Taos. This is kind of an Adobe house kind of idea. I don't want to do Adobe, even though I love the look. I don't think it'll really fit in the rainforest that I live in, the Adobe look and being wet all the time. But I do want to show you the roof, and let's take a look at some of those. So this is in an Earthship or an Earthship style home, and I would love to have a bunch of glass in the front of our house. I don't know if this will happen. Obviously the reason I'm burying the house is for geothermal reasons, and you kind of lose a lot of that once you put giant windows. Anyways, you can see these logs up here and how they are fit into the house. You basically just lay all the logs up, then saw off all the tops to be flat, and then you just build on top of there. Now they have adobe'd between their logs, and I love this look, but I don't think I'll be using this look. Yeah, beautiful home. Okay, here is the next one. This is also like an Earthship style home. This is one of those buttress walls that I was talking about earlier. If we knew where the bedrooms were, we could build one of these walls, and that just keeps the back wall from being able to push forward against this. All of this is cemented and heavily rebarred, and that gives a little structure to the back wall. But anyway, the reason we're here is to see this roof. Now, this is actually the look I'm going for. Again, we're not going to use Adobe on the walls, I don't believe, but we are going to use this tongue and groove style top to the roof. So this is exactly what the house will look like. It will be sitting on block wall right here. Probably have to build up wood around the insides of these to make that top, and then we will put a tongue and groove on top of here, insulate on top of that, and then put the metal on top. So this is probably the best idea of what our house is going to look like. I also love the way this concrete looks. I don't know if ours is going to look like that, but I do love the idea. This might be similar to something that we do. Okay, now this is an Earthship home, and it's true example, from the best I can tell. Has the greenhouse up front. This is my ideal home. This is what I've always wanted to build, but my property doesn't really work with this. This property right here is south facing, so the sun is able to work this greenhouse, and they can use the sun for heating the home. But unfortunately I can't do this, but I did want to show you the roof, the logs, and how it kind of sits up on this beam. So this will be the block wall, which will not be an exposed wall in the end. We won't use adobe, but we will cover the walls somehow. Anyways, this gives you an idea of the logs. You can also see the buttress style walls to help keep from the back wall forcing forward. Alright, here is a great example of what the house will look like from the outside. The roof will probably look a lot like this. This roof probably has around 8 inches of insulation, I would imagine. But that's kind of the idea, what the roof will look like, with the tongue and groove, and then on top of it the insulation and metal. And this is what it'll look like from the front with the logs sticking out. So in our build right here, we'll attach the front roof that will go around the grain silos to keep the water from dumping in on the front porch. But this is the best example that I could find of what the logs look like supporting the roof. Alright guys, here somebody has drawn out a sketch of what it looks like with the roof off. Obviously these logs will have to stick out past here a little bit, so I don't know the exact measurement, but maybe a foot or two past this back wall, and then a foot or two past the front wall. So if my dimensions here are 20, then I'm going to need this log to be around 22 to 24 feet to overhang correctly. But this will be the idea of what the house looks like. And there's even a little silo here, even though these will be around on the front here. So thank you to whoever did up this sketch. That's pretty much what's in my head right there. All of this will be backfilled with dirt, and this back wall in this corner will be at least around 7 feet deep, and I think maybe an 8 foot or 9 foot wall in the rear, and in the front of the house maybe 12 foot. However, the dimensions have to work out for the slope of the roof, which I will get some guidance on. Okay, funny enough, this is the exact home that made me fall in love with Earthships and this whole idea of this design and self-efficient home. And yeah, this is the wont, I believe, wont home. If not, it's very similar to that. What a beautiful home. This has all the fridge right here and everything. Anyways, we are here to look at the logs. You see how big these logs are compared to the other houses that we've noticed. I love this. I want a bigger log if we can. I'm going to talk to somebody about the structural and the spans, etc. And the bigger the log, the better. So if I can have something this massive on my roof, that is the absolute plan. And this home is beautiful. I stayed here. I took my parents, my mom, and my stepdad, and stayed here for like 4 days or 3 nights or something like that. This is the home that sparked all of this idea. And I know that I will not build anything close to this beautiful, but I will try my best. And yeah, so this is the idea. The rear wall will be lower, the front wall will be higher. Single pitch roof going to the back. This is what we're going to build. I thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my members for supporting my channel. I'm actually going to get paid for this video because there's no music, but I love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. I hope you guys stick around, and one day we can look back on this while we're standing inside of our home and yeah, share it the whole way with you guys. So thanks again for the support. I love you, and we'll see you in the next one.